Ten.
Stand by to take studio.
8, 7, 6.
Stand by camera 1, mics 1 and 2.
3, 2, 1.
Take studio.
Hello and welcome to another episode of MCTV News. I'm your host, Jillian Andrews.
And I'm Avery Thompson. On today's show, Luke Robinson gives us a piece on St. Jean Baptiste silent auction. Liam Weeks interviews local entertainers about COVID effects on the industry. Jillian Andrews gives us a piece on MCHS musical medley. And lastly, Brielle Winsor brings us more insight on chronic granulomatose disease.
After weeks of freezing rain and heavy snow, we're lucky to be seeing a drastic change in our weather forecast. MCTV meteorologist Luke Robinson is here to let us know what the next 7 days will have in store.
Jillian, let's take a look at the weather for Canada for today. In Whitehorse, it will be a lot of snow with a -7. Yellowknife will be quite a bit of snow, again, with a -23. Vancouver will have a +9 with a little bit of rain. And Regina will have a -3 with quite a bit of snow. Winnipeg will have a -17, a little bit of cloud, not much there. Iqaluit will have a -25 with a lot of snow. Winnipeg will have a -17. Toronto will have a lot of snow and a 0. Montreal will have quite a bit of snow and a -9. Down in Halifax, it will be a +1 with quite a bit of cloud. St. John's will have a +1 with a rain-snow mix. Let's take a look at Alberta for today. Up in high level, it will be a -12 with a little bit of snow. Fort McMurray will have quite a bit of snow with a -11. Grand Prairie will have a 0 with a little bit of snow. Red Deer will have a +2 with a rain-snow mix. Edmonton will have a rain-snow mix with a +1. Banff will have a +3 with a little bit of snow. Calgary will have a rain-snow mix with a +7. Jasper will have a lot of snow with a 1. Medicine Hat will be a +10 with a little bit of clouds. Let's take a look at the current conditions. So right now it is quite a bit of snow here, and there is a 0 degrees Celsius. Wind is going 7 kilometers an hour northeast. Relative humidity will be 100%, and sunrise will be 8:46 a.m. and sunset will be at 4:41 p.m. And for the 7-day forecast, it will be a high of -2 for Friday. Saturday will be a high of +3. Sunday will be a high of -3. Monday will be a high of 0. Tuesday will have a -16. Wednesday will have a -15. And Thursday will have a -11. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Luke. Next up, our meteorologist will show you around the St. Jean Baptiste silent auction, a local auction happening here at MCHS. The goal in which is to raise funds to aid the reconstruction of the St. Jean Baptiste Church. Luke Robinson brings us this report.
After the St. Jean Baptiste Church has burned down, many of the schools around Morinville have been finding out ways to earn money for it to rebuild. But what is MCHS's idea?
The auction is for help raise funds for the rebuilding of St. Jean Baptiste. All of G Sacred schools are doing a Advent campaign to raise money. So each school is doing something different, and that's what MCHS chose to do. Oh gosh, kind of something for everyone. Pardon me. We've got toys, we've got tools, we've got jewelry, we've got an arcade game built by none other than Mr. Peterson from Primo. We've got pet beds, handmade rosaries, gift baskets from different stores. So yeah, there's lots of everything. Not bad. We had about maybe 2 weeks notice, so it wasn't a huge amount of time because the idea kind of came fast. So within that 2 weeks, I would say about a dozen businesses, local and elsewhere, and then staff donated some items. So not bad, not bad.
The response has been overwhelming. It has been fantastic. We already have surpassed our goal of $1,500. I think we're over 133% over that goal. So the donations have been numerous. We had 100 items. So thank you to everyone who's donated. And then my fashion students made 30 pet beds, and those did quite well. So it has been a really great response, and all of the donations, all the money goes towards the rebuild of the the new church, Saint Jean Baptiste. There was paintings, like I said, the pet beds were there. We've had some gift cards. We had wine bottles, art made by another EA in our school. Oh, it was just a gamut. Homemade rosaries made by students, religion students here. Passes to a lawn service pass for a month. It was just all over, and the community has been so supportive. So again, over 100 items were donated.
With the response for the donations of the items being overwhelming, MCHS has raised a total of over $2,000 for the rebuild of St. John Baptiste Church. For MCTV News, Luke Robinson reporting.
Here are your school announcements for Thursday, January 13th. Attention all grads. Grad pros will be taking place Monday, January 31st. Please remember to book your appointment ASAP. If you have any questions, please see Mrs. Booten in Student Services. Feeling groovy? Thursday the 20th, Student Council invites you to dress up for 80s Day. We encourage you to dress up in your interpretation of 80s attire. Check into the MCHS Student Council Instagram for a chance to win a prize by answering 80s trivia questions. For these and all other information, keep connected by listening to the daily announcements, logging onto the school's website at www.mchs.gsacred.ab.ca, or by following the school on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. As well, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel by searching MCTV Morinville.
Thanks, Jillian. My co-host Jillian Andrews recently had the opportunity to shoot a commercial for the MCHS musical medley. It's not your usual report, but it is a nice way to advertise the hard work of our school's drama program. This commercial was posted on the Instagram and highlights the voices of the members of the medley. Let's take a look.
Ever since I was younger, I wanted to be like part of like a musical or something, and this is just like a way to get involved.
Medley is just my favorite place to be. It shows off what we can do. Medley is a place to me where I can pursue my interests without the fear of being judged.
And overall, it's just really fun, and we get a taste of everything and get to do songs that we never normally get to do.
Just a great escape from reality for me and a lot of other people.
To me, Medley is a place where we can embrace our community and have fun with each other.
Medley is like a family.
And it was either this or the cheer team, and the atmosphere in the drama room was just something else, and I really enjoy it.
It's an opportunity to hang out with my friends after school.
I think the best way to describe the medley is as an introduction to a family.
Medley, for me, is a good way to get off of my phone and connect with my friends and peers.
Medley gives me a sense of community.
Medley to me is an opportunity to express my creative passions in an environment that I find uplifting.
A place to hang out with friends and have an overall great time.
Medley has given me a chance to get out of my comfort zone, and I really like the people in it.
I like to be here.
Welcome back. Here with all the latest scores, including the NBA, NHL, and NFL, is our very own sports analyst, Dylan Weiss.
Thanks, Avery. In the NHL, Toronto Maple Leafs fell in a close game with the Arizona Coyotes, with the final score being 1-2. Montreal couldn't catch up to the Boston Bruins as they lost a game with 2-5. And finally, the Seattle Kraken weren't so cracked in their matchup with the Dallas Stars as they faced a rough defeat of 2-5. Turning to the NBA, the Celtics got an early lead to secure the victory of 119-100 in their matchup with the Pacers. The Mavericks weren't able to recover against a similar lead to the game with the Knicks with a final score of 85-108. LeBron and the Lakers couldn't dethrone the Kings, losing 116-125. The Nets beat the Bulls 138-112. Houston beat the Spurs in an incredibly close game, winning 124-128. And finally, the Hornets beat the 76ers with a score of 109-98. Lastly, the NFL wildcard games are as follows. The Raiders takes on the Bengals, the Patriots take on the Bills, the Eagles take on the Buccaneers, the 49ers take on the Cowboys, the Steelers take on the Chiefs, and finally the Cardinals take on the Rams. Coming up next, Brielle Winsor brings us a piece on what she learned about a medical condition called chronic granulomatose disease. Let's check it out.
Meet Jude Lafleur, a 7-month-old baby recently diagnosed with a rare genetic condition that makes him very susceptible to infection and serious illness due to it.
Jude was diagnosed about 2 months ago with a condition called chronic granulomatose disease. Certain types of his white blood cells don't function the way that they're supposed to.
We had a couple stays at the Stollery. Still, they just thought he had a really severe milk protein allergy. We got in contact with a GI specialist, and she's the one who figured it out for us.
Jude's condition is being managed with medications for now, and his parents are being very cautious in order to protect him, but there is a way that Jude could get to live a normal life.
With treatment for him, he is going to have to get a bone marrow transplant.
Jude doesn't have properly functioning bone marrow that's able to produce those white blood cells. He's going to go through about 6 to 8 weeks of intense chemo and radiation therapy where he will lose his hair. Unfortunately, it's pretty tough on the body. You know, something like the common cold could end up killing him during that post-transplant phase. As terrible as that is to say, it's the reality, and we just have to be really careful with that.
Since Jude is of mixed ethnicities, it is going to be more difficult for him to find a bone marrow donor.
They have prepared us that it's going to be a little bit tricky for Jude to find a match. We're going to have a little bit of a tough go, and this is why we're trying just to do as much awareness as possible.
Get the word out to a lot of our high school kind of grade 12ers, and then, you know, the university crowd, because they're kind of, you guys are the best chance that we have and the best chance that a lot of people have.
The processes are different for the bone marrow donor and the bone marrow recipient. The procedures for the recipient, though it is worth it in the end, is very hard on their bodies.
For the donor, it's a lot easier process. You have to go to canadabloodservices.ca, you sign up on there, and then once you are approved as a donor, they actually mail you a kit to your house. You just swab the inside of your cheek. They give you a few different spots to do it. It takes a couple minutes.
The cheek swab kit is free and comes with prepaid postage that you can use to send it back. There's a lot of miscommunication about what the procedure for the bone marrow donor is actually like, and it is relatively simple.
It's a day procedure. You do get put under, or you can get a spinal block, but most people choose to get put under. They do a couple little incisions by your hips. They draw a bit of bone marrow. You wake up feeling maybe a little fatigued for a few days.
Bone marrow transplants are life-changing procedures, and everyone is strongly encouraged to see if they are eligible to donate and help save lives such as Jude's. For more information, go to blood.ca. For MCTV News, Brielle Winsor reporting.
Let's take a look at the upcoming events for January. This month in film, there's a wide number of movies being released, with titles such as Morbius, Scream, Hotel Transylvania, Transformania, The Reguine, Orphan First Kill, Redeeming Love, and The King's Daughter. Here are the new music releases for January. Dawn FM by The Weeknd, Bright Side by The Lumineers, Fix Yourself Not the World by The Wombats, Norwegian artist Aurora releases album The Gods We Can Touch, and John Mellencamp releases Strictly a One-Eyed Jack. For January upcoming video games releases, Pokemon Legends Arceus and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Extraction.
It's no secret that the pandemic has affected the way we intake media. The entertainment industry is no exception, with live performances being put on hold due to the inconsistent regulations. Adaptability becomes a necessity. Liam had the chance to interview some Edmonton-based performers from their thoughts about the pandemic about the pandemic and how it affected the Edmonton entertainment industry.
In what ways has the pandemic affected the entertainment industry?
It definitely has affected like how we connect with our audiences. For a long period of time, like we would only be able to do online shows, and you really didn't get that same kind of feedback that you did before, like with audience interaction, like them cheering for you. It also really affected like the source of income, because a lot of the time, like for the online shows, we didn't charge anything because at the time, like everybody was really hurting for money.
It's weird not having as much of an audience. When everything shut down, I tried doing a couple of online shows, and you can't connect with people the same way. And now that things are opening up, it's still different.
What have you yourself done during the pandemic to like keep performing in some aspects?
I want to say it was like 48 like weeks in a row. We did this weekly online show, which was like basically the only thing that kept me going at some points, just like looking forward to this every Saturday.
I did an online show with Go Fetch, and that was super fun. We did like a little fundraiser thing, but aside from that, I honestly haven't performed as much.
How do you think the industry has been affected, and do you think there will be like any lasting side effects to the way like entertainment goes forward?
So I think one effect that definitely has been like has happened and will be long lasting is people knowing their worth more and people starting to value drag more.
When it comes from like a smiling audience to like a masked audience, it has a different feel because you can't really read people. So it's going to be a new way of connecting on a different level.
How, now that we're starting to like open up and people are able to come back to things, what has the audience like reception been?
So there's still a lot of people who are really showing their support online and sending really nice messages and being like, sorry I couldn't come out, but I love seeing like the pictures, or supporting in other ways. But then there is also like a really large, amazing group of people who are like coming out to every show and like really being appreciative.
And that's it for another episode of MCTV News. Join us again in our next episode to hear about the new renovations here in CTS, the Morinville Fire Department, the local business Rockbox Structures, and a better look at our custodial staff here at MCHS. All this plus sports in your 7-day Morinville weather forecast on Thursday, January 20th. And that's it. We're finally back in school after three weeks of break. How do you feel?
I don't know. I'm tired. No, break is fun. But
yeah, I really took the time to relax and just mentally prepare for finals that are right around the corner. Make sure you study.
Yes, studying is very important for finals.
From all of us at MCTV News, I'm Jillian Andrews.
And I'm Avery Thompson. Thanks for tuning in.